Just got back from Costco, and there's a very big reason why I had to go to Costco. There's some things I want to show you because in this video, I'm going to give you 3 simple rules to get absolutely shredded by summer. Now, if you're someone who is nowhere near to getting shredded by summer because you still have a lot of weight to lose, this is going to help you as well, okay? When I started doing the research and discovered some things are going to have to change. Now, these are simple things that you can do. There's only 3 of them, but this is going to dramatically help you lose a ton of weight by summer, okay? If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm an intermittent keto fasting coach who all the way back in 2018 lost about 70 pounds in 7 months. And I kept it off for a couple of years, but then by the time 2020 happened, I gained a good 40 pounds back. I started at 233 this year. Now I'm all the way down to 190, and I got there before my 49th birthday, which was actually last week. So let's just jump right into this video. I don't want to waste any more time. So I had to make a Costco run because I started doing some research and discovered that there are 3 simple rules that you can do right now to get absolutely shredded if you've already been losing weight this year. Maybe you started a weight loss journey, you've been following me, you're doing keto with carnivore, you're doing a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting. That's kind of what I'm all about. So let's say you've been losing weight this year, but you're like, man, summer's gonna be here in a couple months. What could I do to just get shredded for summer? Again, if you're not there yet, this is gonna help you too, okay? So rule number 1, what you're gonna wanna do is that as you start losing weight and as you start getting leaner and leaner and leaner, you're gonna have to increase protein. Now, let me explain why you have to increase protein as you start losing weight. So in my Keto Shed 40 program, which by the way, if you want more information on that, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description that I'll take you to another video. And I'll kind of explain a little bit about more what I could do to help you. And we'll just jump on a call and we'll just see if you and I would be a good fit, all right? So what I do in my coaching program is I always start off my clients very high in fat. Now, there's a reason for that, okay? Most people who work with me are coming off of diets that are highly processed, they're very carb heavy, so they deal with a lot of cravings and hunger, okay? So when you put a lot of fat into the diet, what a lot of my clients start to experience in just the first week is they start noticing that their cravings are going down and they're not as hungry because foods that are high in fat are gonna keep you satiated because you're not having all these blood sugar spikes, okay? So what do you do as you start losing weight and you're eating all this fat? Does it really make sense to be eating a lot of dietary fat as you start losing weight? Well, the answer, short answer, is no, and I'll tell you why. All belly fat is, or body fat in general, all that is stored energy, okay? It's energy waiting to be used, okay? But as you start losing weight and getting leaner and leaner, you start losing body fat, okay? And what can happen is as you start losing body fat, now you have less stored energy to use to fuel your body throughout the day, okay? And this is why people will say when they lose a lot of weight, they start to lose a little bit of strength in the gym. I know that's happened to me as well. And there's a way that you can compensate for that, okay? So as you're getting leaner and leaner and leaner, you have less and less body fat. So what happens? How does your body get energy now that you don't have a whole lot of stored body fat for energy? What happens? You run the risk of losing muscle, and we do not want to do that, okay? So the only way to keep the muscle on your body that you've worked so hard for is you must increase the protein. Does that make sense? Because if you're not increasing your protein as you get leaner and leaner and leaner, well, your body's got to get energy from somewhere, and you do not want it to pull from muscle. So real quickly, since I discovered that, I am increasing my protein. So what we got in Costco, I want to show you really quick. We've got a couple of these, the organic brown eggs. So we got those. I got 2 of those because my wife eats these as well. Grass-fed beef. Lots and lots of protein in the grass-fed beef, okay? So we got some of those. These are something new that I found. Every once in a while, I want to have some chicken breast. These are grilled chicken breasts that basically doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients. Go figure, right? You would think chicken breast should only have chicken, right? So this actually has chicken breast with no antibiotics and onion. And then there's some like spices that they put in there. That's it. Now, I do think there's only 1 gram of added sugar. I have no idea why they do that, but 1 gram of sugar, no big deal. All right. And this one has, let's see, 18 grams of protein and 120 calories. So we got the chicken. And then you might have seen this in my last video where I got these all beef Polish sausage, 100% grass-fed beef. These are absolutely amazing. They're 220 calories and it looks like they're about 12 grams of protein. Again, these are all grass-fed, no hormones, no antibiotics. These pasture raised, absolutely incredible. Now, I usually make my eggs, over easy, but I'm like, I'm not getting a whole lot of protein just with 4 eggs, so I forgot to pull it out. Let me just go get that really quick. What I went ahead and did is I went to Costco and I got a whole thing of egg whites. This is pure protein. So I'm going to be adding this to my 4 eggs so I can get the extra protein, okay? So with that said, that is rule number 1. You've got to increase the protein before or as you start losing weight. You got to increase your protein. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put these away. We got to get to number 2. Okay, number 2 is a very important one as well. Let me just start with the mistake that people make, okay? People are like, well, I want to get as shredded as possible, so I'm going to start decreasing my calories. You absolutely do not want to decrease your calories as you're losing weight. Doesn't it make more sense that as you start losing weight, eventually you're going to want to eat more? I even saw a comment by one of you that says, man, I'm looking to get as lean as possible and lose all this weight so I can eat maintenance again. That's exactly what you should be doing. Now, you're going to have to slowly increase your calories over time so you don't gain the weight back, okay? But that's not the tip number 2 that I want to share with you. Tip number 2 is instead of decreasing your calories even more throughout the week, I want you to do what's called a 5-2 fast or a 4-3 fast. Now, let me explain how these work. A 5-2 fast is basically where you're eating kind of normal 5 days out of the week. Now, I would recommend, when I mean normal, like what's normal to most people is processed heavy carbs. So when I say normal, I want you to stick to your keto carnivore diet. However, eat it like maintenance calories. Have your 2 meals a day, eating a couple thousand calories for 5 days, okay? 2 meals a day. The other 2 days, you're gonna do an extreme calorie deficit, kind of similar to what I did with the alternate day fasting. You're gonna be basically eating maybe 500 calories 2 days in a row out of the week. So the first 5 days, you're gonna eat normal. Maybe you have 2 meals, maybe each meal is about 1,000 calories. You're eating like 2,000, maybe 1,800. And then the other 2 days, extreme calorie deficit, only maybe 500 calories. Just like I did with my alternate day fasting where I was having 500 calories of eggs and butter. It was exactly 500 calories. Now the 4-3 is similar. If you want to get really aggressive, eat 4 regular meals, keto carnivore, during the week, and then do a caloric restriction for 3 days. And I'm talking a severe caloric restriction, again, 500 calories. So you're basically only eating like 1,500 calories in those 3 days that are very low in calories, okay? So you could either choose to do the 5-2 or you could do the 4 and the 3, okay? The very last tip is pretty important as well, okay? What you want to do for number 3 is that meal timing is going to be even more crucial. Now, for those of you who have a lot of weight to lose, meal timing isn't that much going to help you. However, it can, but as you get leaner, optimizing your body based on meal timing is going to be very, very crucial. So here's what I would recommend, and I've done this myself. This works, okay? You want to do what's called ETRF. That just stands for early time restricted feeding, okay? They've done studies on this, okay? They did a study, I think, where they tracked people who ate from like 1 p.m. to 9 or 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., something like that. Or no, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., okay? And what they found, the bottom line, is you don't want to be consuming too many of your calories later in the day. And I've said this in so many videos. It makes no sense to consume the majority of your calories toward the end of the day when your body is getting prepared for sleep, especially when the sun goes down, the circadian rhythms kick in. Your body is not in a position to uptake a lot of calories. So what you need to do is you need to consume the majority of your calories early in the day. I do this sometimes where maybe I'll eat at 11 a.m. and I cut my meal off at 3 or 4, something like that if you're doing 2 meals a day. Because most people, after they eat dinner, what are they doing? They're sitting on the couch watching the news. They're sitting on the couch watching YouTube videos. Maybe you're watching my YouTube video. I thank you for that. However, don't be eating as you're watching this video because it's not going to serve you very well, okay? So let's just recap that, okay? So the 3 rules are, number 1, as you start losing weight, you're going to have to increase the protein because we need to preserve muscle mass. You got to understand, the more muscle you have, the more calories your body's going to burn. So we need to preserve muscle mass, okay? Tip number 2, like we just talked about, you're going to go ahead and do the 5-2 fast, or you're going to do the 4 and a 3. So eat normal on 5 days a week. Those other 2 days being a severe caloric restriction, only 500 calories. Same thing with the 4 and a 3. Eat normally for 4 days. Be in a caloric restriction for 3 days at that 500 calories. And then last but not least, we just covered, you want to make sure that your meal timing is optimized to eat the majority of your calories early in the day as opposed to later in the day, okay? So that's all I got. Make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and always hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until next time, I will see you then.